We are living in the United States, but many of us, mentally, spiritually, we are still there because it is our homeland.
Tonight, we're hearing from a local pastor who is shedding light on the rising tensions in Eastern Europe. This as we could be just days away from the start of a war.
K2's Kelly Oster live in Vancouver right now. Lots of local families have connections in both Russia and Ukraine, Kelly.
They certainly do, and they have been talking on a daily basis to their family and friends overseas. They say they're getting a real idea of what it looks like on the ground there, and they tell me they are absolutely concerned. The threat of a Russian invasion remains in Ukraine, and the impact reaches all the way to the Pacific Northwest. In Vancouver, one of a handful of Ukrainian churches has been part of this community for decades. Pastor Paul Demyanik says this congregation is worried.
We are worried about them because we know what is going on.
Ukraine became independent in 1991 when the Soviet Union split up. But Demyanik, who lived there at the time, says they were already very separate, which is why he says what's happening now isn't surprising.
It's not a surprise for me what Russia doing because history showed mentally they are thinking they are oldest brother and it's empire, and they try to return that to do like used to be.
Even with the support of the United States and the UN, Ukrainians are preparing. Demyanik recently spoke with family in the Ukraine.
Old men, like 18 years till 60, almost ready. Anytime, any call, they will get them and mobilize to the war.
Locally, he says many Russians and Ukrainians agree this shouldn't be happening.
Most Christian Russian, they understand what's going on.
As these frigid temperatures look like they will continue nightly for the week, the county says they're watching the forecast closely to ensure they are helping as many people as they can stay warm and avoid the cold. This is all part of their initiative to do better than last summer when the heat wave hit and nearly 100 people died. K2's Kelly Oster is live in Northeast tonight, and they're looking at all different aspects, Kelly.
They absolutely are, and I can attest to what Dave was saying. It is downright cold outside. You don't want to be out here for very long if you don't have to, which is exactly why Multnomah County says they are stepping up. Not only are they handing out warm clothes to those in need, but they also have opened up warming shelters. And the best way you can get there is now with a free ride from TriMet. It started just a few minutes ago. So it started at 6 o'clock and it will run until tomorrow at noon. Changes made after lessons learned. This summer was an eye-opening experience for many when triple-digit temperatures broke heat records 3 days in a row, and nearly 100 people died. Multnomah County officials like Chair Deborah Kafoury made it their mission to never let that happen again when either cold or hot. How confident are you that we've made the changes we need to so that we don't see an outcome like we did this past summer?
We're better prepared right now than we've ever have been for this type of weather situation. First of all, we've been preparing for the potential of this cold snap for a week. So we've been out getting donations from our community members. We're very grateful for that.
She says that preparation will save lives. On top of that, she says volunteers have stepped up. So they are fully staffed to help those who are cold get what they need.
It's a different game than it was several years ago. It used to be just a small group of people who would be working, and now we've realized that we need everyone, all hands on deck.
So starting Tuesday night, they will have 5 warming centers open. Salvation Army on North Williams, Sunrise Center on East Burnside, Mount Scott Community Center, East Portland Community Center, and Market Street. Those 5 shelters can house 360 people.
This being the Newburgh School Board, they had met to discuss potentially lifting their masking mandates early, going against Oregon orders. But during their meeting last night, the interim superintendent spoke to the board about some of the consequences of making that decision. Now, one was that teachers with the TSPC license could be subject to investigation if they ended up breaking state law. There would also be losses to insurance coverage for the school district, and perhaps the largest threat actually came from the interim superintendent himself. He said he would need to immediately resign if the board voted to lift masking early.
As a volunteer person who's working a lot of extra hours to support Newburgh, I don't want my parting gift to be an investigation from Teacher Standards and Practices Commission.
Till the end of March with Governor Brown. So agree or disagree with her.
Dave Brown said while he'd like to get rid of masking earlier, it doesn't make sense for the district to do it right now. And the board agreed. No motion was made to lift that masking early. So at this point, they're holding off until the end of March. And it may be a sign to some of these larger school districts in Oregon